I recently ran into what a controller looks like, and I wanted to make a video about it because it really touched me. I have a good friend who is middle-aged and wants to date again, and she has been dating. She's ambitious, she's a single mom, her son is graduating from high school, and she inspires me. She's a writer and she's independent. Well, she started dating this guy. She really liked him. And she was dating him for 6 months. And she would tell me about him from time to time. I never met him. But I would listen to her, and he made her very happy, and she was really excited. And this showed me how easily these things can happen. About 3 months ago, and she's dated him for 6 months. 3 months ago, I started hearing more things about this guy that kind of perked my interest. It just sounded more and more like he wasn't a person she should be with. She would say things like, my language of love is affirmations, and he doesn't want to do that because, and she told me there was some problem he had with his mom growing up, and I get that. That makes sense to me. But if you are with somebody you love and you're prioritizing that, then you're going to make changes, even if it's hard and hurtful, in order to make that person feel loved, right? That's what I thought. And I talked to my friend about it, and then there were just little other things, and she would bring them up, and I'd be like, so anyway, it ended up she confronted him about some things she was unhappy with, and the whole relationship fell apart. He was really hurt, really traumatized, and I'll tell you about it, but it's basically a controller. And because it happens so easily to a friend of mine who is so much in the dating world and has gone out and is experienced, and I just never expected it. And I would listen to it, but I too didn't take it real seriously because I trusted her. Now I do, and I know how easily this happens. And as a therapist, when I'm with my friend, I take that hat off, but I think I now should leave it on because this really just slid into our lives and I had no idea. So the first thing is, they keep a scorecard. I always have heard that tit for tats, and I think I've told you and shared that with you all, that when somebody tits for tats you, like you do this, I do that, that's not a good relationship, right? But this is like a toxic scoreboard. This is like, not only is it every little thing that if you do, then I'm going to do, but it's even the bad things. Well, if you hurt me that way, then I'm going to hurt you that way. And that is not normal, and it's a sign of a controlling person. Secondly, they'll pepper you with criticism. Usually when people have a criticism about you, they'll tell you what it is. And then you'll say, wow, I didn't realize I was doing that. And you'll try to make amends. But if you hear a criticism, one after another, and pretty soon you just feel totally pelted by the criticism, that's a sign that someone is trying to take you over. They're trying basically to show you that you're incompetent, and usually it's someone who needs additional control. They're trying to bring you down. Thirdly, they make you feel guilty that what you did or what you chose was wrong. You're always the wrong one, and their best way to do that is they play victim. So when they don't know how to deal with an issue, whatever it is, any insecurity, they take the victim role. And the reason they take the victim role is because they know if they take that victim role, you will feel guilty, you'll stop making any demands, and you'll just feel so sorry for them. They have lived that pattern for their life. It's a tactic that controllers use, and it's dangerous, and it isn't healthy. If you see that in your relationship, run away. Fourthly, they make these covered threats. They'll usually say something that it's a threat, like abandonment, or I'm going to divorce you, or I'm going to take your money, or something like that. But they'll make it humorous. almost preposterous if they're really good, so that you don't really take it seriously until you've seen a few other things they've done, and then you start going, oh my gosh, and you check your bank account or whatever, and it's gone. Controllers are, they always tell you, I was honest, I told you what I was going to do. No, you weren't honest. You slid it in and it was a threat. It wasn't a direct, honest conversation. And lastly, remember, they need to control you, and the only way they can do that is if they get you away from loved ones. And so they'll start like shaming you about your friends or picking on your parents. When they do that, they have an opportunity to bring you further down and help you. Don't you see that? How your mom is always doing this or that? And by then, you're so seduced, you want the relationship more than you want to believe this or agree with this about your mom, so you go with it, whatever it is. And the more they remove these obstacles, the more control they have over you. So what you should do for yourself, and what I wished in retrospect I would have told my friend earlier to do for herself. Number one, keep your friends and family really close. You want to share everything. You know, I noticed with my friend, she started kind of covering some of the things that were making her feel bad in this relationship. So when we did get together and she was talking about breaking up, I never really understood why. Now I understand. She was making excuses and basically trying, distancing herself from me. Secondly, self-care is a must. You must take care of yourself. Put your own interests first, because they'll make you feel bad about prioritizing yourself. They'll make you feel selfish if you take care of you, but then they'll also shame you if you don't look as good as you used to. So be sure that you reinvest and just take care of you and don't listen to them. Thirdly, create a plan. You need a plan of how you're going to get out. And before you confront them, you should have that plan in place. You should have at least one support person you can go to, and you should also have a therapist that you know you can talk to, because you're going to need one processing this to get out of it, to get it out of your head so you don't repeat it. And lastly, take any potential danger seriously. When these people are pushed against the wall or they feel threatened, they go for vengeance. People that are controllers, they never resolve issues. They hang on to them. It's fuel for them. They spread them into another relationship where they can compare the person and say, you're just like my ex. You're just like this person. That's how they deal with life. And you're going to be just another person they compare. Don't worry about that. But do worry if they ever made any threats to you, that you alert the authorities so that you know you're going to have protection. These people are not to be taken lightly. And as soon as you recognize you're with a controller, try to get away from that relationship and make an appointment with a therapist so you can process it and work it out in your own mind. Hope this helps you.